testify for you. I do that 3, 4 times a can I testify for you.
Hi guys, it's Candace here with Lotus Serenity, and today we're going to be making this cute little tumbler topper. And I also have a short tutorial on how to make the tumbler itself, but I do have a more detailed video here in the playlist, so check that out. So to start out, you're going to start with the top of your tumbler. For this, you're going to want to, of course, make sure the little lid piece works there. And if you notice, I did push that all the way back because once you use this UV resin, you're not going to have the opportunity to open or close that again. So you want to make sure it's open so that your customer can put a straw in there. So I'm just starting out by, I placed the resin on the actual cup and then put the pieces on. So this will start out, you kind of just pick different ones because none of the little fake ice pieces are the same. So you're just going to kind of put them where they fall, and then you'll kind of see as we keep going here that I'm just looking for places to put my resin and places to put the little ice chips. There's really no right or wrong way, especially when you're first starting out putting the pieces on, because they're going to all fall into place. And you'll see a little later how we're going to fill in any little gaps. Because one of the main issues with these toppers that people don't like is that some people do experience like molds build up or things of that nature if they don't properly seal these toppers. So that's one thing that we are going to look at as we continue to go through the video. So here I'm just continuing to put my ice pieces on one by one. And I am going to go ahead and speed this up just a little bit because it's going to be the same for this bottom layer. Okay, so we are continuing to layer those ice pieces on this bottom layer. Again, there's really no true rhyme or rhythm. You're just putting them anywhere they will fit. But just be careful. Do not go. You'll notice like a little piece fell into the mouth where the straw goes. Just be careful not to actually put any resin there. So I did go ahead and use my light to go ahead and cure that set. Now here's where it gets a little tricky. So when you're doing your next layer of ice, you're going to have to kind of put, it's like almost like puzzle pieces. So some of them are going to fit nicely. Some of them you're going to have to kind of maneuver. You're going to see me curing a lot more often now because once I start putting those pieces in place, I want to make sure they stay that way, especially my little boba pieces that I'm going to be using. So here I am just filling in those pieces, making sure that I'm covering all of the little gaps. And you're going to notice I'm using a nice amount of resin. I did get this resin off of Temu. It was very inexpensive and it works great. You're going to see how it cures completely clear at the end. But when you're getting them on, here's a tricky part. So over here on the end, you're going to see that I'm curing my end pieces and they fell off. So I just want to make sure those are secured. So I'm going to just work those back on. Again, it's just puzzle pieces. So you're going to see I'm actually holding it to make sure that I don't have any issues with those falling off. And they'll be fine. Sometimes you do have to kind of move them around. I'm going to, again, be curing a lot more though with these edges in the second layer as I go through here. So just continue to build your foundation around your topper. And if you notice when I'm pouring a generous amount of UV resin because remember those gaps we were talking about at the beginning. I want to make sure that those little gaps are being filled properly. And especially when I'm putting my little boba pieces on, I want to make sure these boba pieces are very intact. So I don't want them to come off or, you send it off to a customer, their boba piece falls, things like that. So again, just continuing to build up. Notice I am now, well, you probably can't see it, but as I'm doing these last few layers, when I put my topper under the UV light, I am actually, when it gets closer to the top, I'm holding, sometimes when you see my hand there, I'm actually holding my topper where the UV resin would drain backwards versus coming forward, because remember it's a liquid before you actually cure it. So I don't want it to fall. Like right now, I am actually sealing those pieces we were talking about. So I want to make sure everything sticks. And there you have it. So this is our finished product. Look at the bottom. All of this is cured. It's not going anywhere. All of my gaps are filled. That is exactly what we want. And this is the resin that I used. Again, it's from Temu. Now we're going to get into making the actual tumbler. And again, if you want a really detailed tutorial on making your tumbler itself, you can go to my actual channel, and I do have a very detailed tutorial on making your tumbler, preventing ghosting, and lots of good tips along with a full supply list for you. So be sure to go over to my channel and check that out. This particular printout I got off of Etsy. Let me go ahead and give the owner credit. So the name of the actual designer is DragonflyPixels on Etsy. So if you're interested in this particular design, you can head over there and purchase that. So all I did was print that out. I sized it for my tumblers. I sized all of my tumblers with a width of 9.52 and a height of 8.25. That has been working for me just fine. It gives me that little bit of overlap that I like for both the sides, top and bottom. So that just works for me. So here again, I'm just lining everything up, getting that taped. Again, if you want a more detailed tutorial that is a lot slower and explains this process a lot more, go to my channel and you'll find that video listed on making a sublimation tumbler along with the breakdown. So here I am just taping everything up, making sure it's sealed properly. And I do like to put an extra layer of tape on the top because in my experience, that is where you would get the most ghosting. And then I'm just sucking out all of the air by putting on this shrink wrap. And then we're going to prepare to go ahead and put that in the oven. I do put mine in the oven on 400 degrees for exactly 4 minutes. Alrighty, so my tumbler is out of the oven and it is ready to go. So now I am just unwrapping it, and I am going to see my finished product here in just a couple minutes, and we're going to be just about done. And there she is. So look how cute this turned out. Again, the seller is from Etsy, and I got the little boba pieces off of Temu as well. And look at my straw, it fits perfectly. If you like this video and want to see more like it, please be sure to like, comment, and share this page.